Hey guys, what's up? Chris Profitt here from Team Bang & Chain and Team FlytCo. I'm down here at Bang & Chain HQ to show you what I'm keeping in the bag this year. Gonna start off by showing you what I'm keeping in my nice Zuca cart. Gonna be taking this nice thing out for all of my larger multi-round, multi-day tournaments this year. It is the Transit Cart, so it's got full storage capacity, so we got quite a few discs to get through here. Gonna start with my putter and approach selection here. I'll show you a little bit of what I'll use around the green area here. Gotta start off with my mint discs Profitt. These have been a mainstay in my bag for a couple years now and will continue to be so. I love the rim on these things. They feel good and always in the hand, and they're one of my more confident putt and approach discs. Got about 4 of those in the bag, got another set in there just in case 2 happen to go missing. I've also been working some of the Discmania Soft Exo Logics into my bag for more of my mid-range approach shot circle 2 putts there. They tend to be a little bit more glidey, so they help get it to the basket, and especially on days when I need a little bit extra lift, these Discmania Soft Exo Logics have come in clutch time and time again, so definitely going to be sticking in the bag with those. One of my approach discs that I'm working in that's a little new this year is the Pro Discus Jokery. Found these a couple months ago and I've been working them in. They kind of feel like an AVR X3 meets a zone, nice and overstable, really nice and tight for a controlled approach to the green, and they sit down nice once they hit the ground. Definitely been loving these, been working these. Got the Drew Gibson Tour Series. Shout out to Drew for always throwing these. They're really solid, my man. All right, and then that is the putter pouch there. Going to take you on around to the main part of my Zuca cart bag here today. Let's open this up and see what we got here. Going to start off with my main overstable drivers. For one of those, I usually use either the Z-Line or ESP version of the Nuke. I like them because they're dependably overstable in heavy winds. You can depend on them to flex out a little bit, but they won't get lost on you. So the Nuke's definitely going in the bag for those windier conditions out there this year, for sure. Next up, got one of my favorite drivers out of the bag there, also Discraft. It is their Punisher, and I'll be carrying that in both the Z-Line and ESP versions this year. This is honestly my favorite driver in my bag and the one you're going to see me pulling out the most. Love the dependable overstability of this disc and its ability to just become slightly understable once you beat it in. Really great controlled disc for long drives that you don't need to worry about it coming back. It will come back. That's the Punisher for you. All right, and then moving on there. Also got another one that's slightly understable comparative. It's the Zeus. I'll be throwing that in both the Big Z and the ESP versions this year. Definitely like that little bit of understability that the Zeus gives as comparative to the Punisher. If I want something to hold out just a little longer with that same dependable finish, the Zeus is coming clutch each time for that for sure. So that will definitely be staying in the bag there this year. Let's see what we got next here. Oh yeah, gotta have... if you know me, you know I love my Discraft Surges. So of course we got to have a couple of those in the bag. I use them for more controlled drives when I know I need a little bit less on the power and a little bit more on the control and accuracy. The Surge comes in clutch. I've got both the Elite Z version as well as the Surge SS version when I need a little bit more understability and a powerful tailwind drive. The SS comes in a little bit more clutch, so definitely keeping these two as a mainstay in my bag, and I know nobody's surprised to hear that one. Another one I've been working into the bag lately would be the Latitude Grace as a complement to the Surges. It's got similar flight pattern but a little bit more glide, so I've been pulling this out a little bit more lately when I need a little bit more lift out of that same type of driver. So definitely loving the Royal Grand Grace for that, and it's maybe staying in the bag there this year as a complement to my Surges. For the understable side of things on the bag this year, I've got a couple. One that I'm working in here is this lovely double stamped Discraft Thrasher that I just picked up recently. I've been messing with the Thrasher for a couple years now, and it tends to be one of those that keeps coming in the bag every now and then. So keeping one of those is a nice little dependable component in the bag for understability. Also going to be using, of course, if anybody knows me, you know I've been throwing these Hades lately. I've been loving the Hades, great understability with a lot of control, and taking both the Crystal Hades version as well as the normal ESP version out on the course this year. I feel the Crystal version gives me a little bit more stability when it comes to the Hades, so I can jam on it just a little bit more, and if I need dependable understability for that, the ESP Hades definitely comes in clutch as far as that goes. So got those there. Last one for the understable lineup here would be one of those that I'm pulling out more often now. It's my Gold Line Latitude 64 Bolt. This thing is highly understable, very flippy. If I need a long tailwind shot that holds and drags a bit more, this one tends to give me a little bit more action in the understable side of things. So definitely glad to include this one in the bag this year for sure. And that's going to do it for my driver components there. Let's move on to my control drivers. These will be anything about speed 10 or under there for you. One I'm using for my overstability will be this Proto Onyx. Picked this one up a couple months ago. I was using a Raptor beforehand, but I feel this one gives a little bit more of the tightness that I'm looking for in an overstable driver, and this one's a bit more dependable in a headwind than I've found than most of the ones I've been throwing. So definitely keeping this nice Proto Onyx in the bag for those dependable headwind shots coming out there. Another one that I've been working a lot of in there is the Gold Line Saint from Latitude 64 as well. 7 glide, this thing picks up and it will keep picking up. So I'm definitely keeping that in there for more glidey, more long-winded conditions there. That way I can get a bit more reach towards the green with this thing. But it's definitely been a dependable fairway driver so far for sure. One that I've been throwing for a while and will continue to throw is my Latitude Gold Burst Striker. I've got this in several plastics, but this Gold Line Burst has been one of my favorites so far. This thing is a straight shooter. If you need an 8-speed driver that once you beat it in, it just goes on a line that keeps it, definitely got to give shots to the Striker on this one. It's been a dependable one in my bag and comes out when I know I need to throw something straight and dependable for sure. All right, and then of course on the final side of the overstable part of my fairway drivers, got the Anthony Barella T-Bird 3, one of the few Innova discs that just can't come out of my bag at all. Love the dependable overstability of this as compared to the regular T-Bird 3. It's a little bit more overstable, so it's a bit more dependable, stays a bit more stable longer, and I mean, of course it's Anthony Barella. He's got a big old arm, so you got to have a big old beefy fairway driver for that big old arm. And that one's definitely staying in the bag. It's just one of those Innova discs that I just can't get away from. Got the 2 understable parts in my bag. One of my favorite understable drivers got to be the Discmania Essence. I'll be bringing 2 variations of that on the course this year. Got the Nate Perkins Zen Meta Essence, a little beefier, has a little bit more stability to it. And then I've got my custom dyed Neo Essence by my teammate Brad Trotter, who did this sick little yin-yang on there. It's been coming out of the bag more and more lately for controlled shots and tailwind shots, so it's definitely going to be a mainstay in the bag for tournaments this year for dependability. And that'll do it for the control drivers section of my bag there. Looking pretty good so far. Let's get on into the mid-ranges and approach here. I'll give you a quick run through of some of those that I'll be using on this one. One from Discraft that's going to be my mainstay as far as mid-ranges go has got to be the Titanium Buzz. I find that the titanium plastic gives it a bit more stability than your regular Buzz, so you get a little bit more sure straight flight out of it than you would with a normal Buzz. I've been working into the bag and it's been throwing some very dependable upshots lately, so definitely got to give this one a run this year for the course. Anyone who knows me knows I love my FLX drone. I've got a couple of these now that I've been trying to pick up and hold on to. It's been a mainstay as far as overstable approach in my bag, and it's one of those where I can kind of use it almost from a fairway standpoint because of how overstable yet high glide it is. So it's definitely staying in the bag for those approach shots this year, and for dependability, I usually don't look very further. Except for one that I've been working for in here, which is the Discmania Evolution Neo Tactic that just came in those mystery boxes this year. I gotta say, I've been looking for a premium plastic Tactic. The Looks ones were decent, but they were just a little too beefy. These Neo ones have become a huge weapon in my bag, and I have been pulling them out more and more for sure approach shots. They've almost completely replaced my Pig, and honestly, they just feel exactly how I was always hoping a Tactic would. So excited to keep this in the bag this year. You will definitely see me throwing Discmania Neo Tactics out there. And when you won't see me throwing the Tactic, if a little bit more beef, got that Razor Claw too. So got the Tactic Plus. This one gives it a little bit more of a overstable skip at the end, so I like to use that when I need a little bit of extra jump at the end for those there. Shout out to Eagle McMahon for those awesome Razor Claw 2s. They fixed everything I wanted about the Razor Claw 1s, so we are loving it. And then got the mainstay in here. Got, of course, the trusty old ESP zone when you're not too sure if you need something more fairway driver-ish or approach discus. Yeah, I've got the flex zone, but this one also comes in clutch when you need it. A little bit more flat top, so I feel this one kind of holds out a bit longer than the FLX zone. So I kind of keep it, FLX drone, my apologies. But I keep it in there as compared to the FLX drone because it tends to have a little bit more of a straight flight. And then finally we'll get into one of the more overstable ones. My only West Side disc in the bag, gotta be the West Side VIP Anvil. This one's basically a little mini tilt. If you need something that's just ridiculously dependably overstable, this one comes in with a 4 fade at the end there to give you a real nice tight finish with an overstable skip. And I've been using this for approach shots where I either need something tight around a corner, tight over a obstacle, or to give me a good dependable skip at the end of the flight there towards the basket. This one comes in clutch every time. And then last but not least, got my understable side of the approach game there. Got two ones I'll be working with through here. One that's been a mainstay in my bag has been the Discraft Meteor. A little bit more understable. This is for one of those where I know I need something to absolutely turn over without question. The Meteor has definitely been doing that since the day I picked it up. So for those backhand turnover approaches, this thing is definitely an essential in my bag. And then I've also been working in a West Side Tersis. This was one that I started working with late last year, and like the Meteor, it's got a little bit more beef to it, so it's a bit more stable. It's only got a -2 turn instead of a -3 turn as compared to the Meteor, so you're going to get a little bit more stability out of this. And I like it because if I need an understable drive or a longer understable shot, it's going to be easier to get this to stabilize than the amount of touch I have to use on the Meteor. So definitely excited there. And that's going to do it for the bag inside of the Zuca cart. When I'm not using this nice cart, if it's a non-access or if it's really hard as far as getting it around the courses, been using this awesome Upper Park Shift disc golf bag. This thing is super lightweight, fits about right around the same amount of discs as I usually carry on the course, right around 20 to 25, and comes with just as much storage as I can fit on this Zuca cart, darn near. But I've been using this, and it's been great for my back. Ultra lightweight, like I said, so you're not going to have any problems out there with multi-round days. And that's what we're working with here. I got the Bang & Chain disc dot on there for when I need to practice putting on there. We of course got our gotta go of course with the Bang & Chain Mini. If you haven't practiced Bang & Chain Mini, come on, you got to do it. And then of course another essential piece of gear, this FlytCo hoodie. Gonna be essential out there on the course this year for sure, especially on those early morning rounds. So got it hooked up from FlytCo. Thanks guys for the awesome gear, and excited to rock that out on the course. And definitely want to send a shout out to Bang & Chain again for sponsoring this year and continuing to work with them. That's going to be my 2022 in the bag, guys. This is Chris Profitt here, and excited to see what we're going to do out there this year. Best of luck to everybody with your season, and I hope it goes well.